Good morning and welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and it is lovely to welcome you to join me on this Monday morning to do a little bit of crafting. It's been a very busy end of the week last week and weekend. We had classes on Friday, classes on Saturday, and I did a craft party for my granddaughter yesterday. So this morning so far has been spent trying to put things away, and there's still more to do. So hopefully we have everything on hand that we need to do a bit of crafting this morning. And we are going to be using one of the bundle sweets that I used at a class on Saturday because we were doing some masculine cards. So some cards that sort of moving away from the pretty flowers and things that were suitable for the guys in your life, the men in your life, or those that just like something a little bit more masculine looking. So um, let me first of all introduce myself a little bit more. This is where you'll find my website, where you'll find all my links to my shops and blog posts and downloadable tutorials and classes and all of those things. So that is at loveaduckie.co.uk. And if you're looking for me anywhere on social media, you will find me, hopefully, if you hunt out Love a Ducky, whether that is Pinterest or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, all of those places. Um, look out for Love-a-Duckie. So let me bring straight in my downward facing camera and let's have a little look at what we're going to play with today. So we're going to be playing with the legendary ride, the ready to ride suite with the legendary ride bundle and papers, and there's an embossing folder. There's some quite cool little embellishments in there. If we have a quick look at the samples that they've got here, and there's some great papers that you can just cut out pieces and go, like this sort of waistcoaty jacket here is just one of the bits of DSP. Got DSP down in the background here that you can see some of those designs on, as is this rose design just here. And then we've got sort of more designer series paper, a bit more fussy cutting there. But we've also got stamps, we've got die cuts, um, and all of those sorts of things to play with as well. I haven't actually looked what the sample is with the bundle at the back. Let's have a look. What do we want? L for legendary. There we are. Got a motorbike driving off into the sunset. Ride on. It's your birthday. So yeah, so quite a great little set. So it consists of, you've got this stamp set with two sizes of motorbike in there. Um, He says sentiments, you are legendary, ride on, it's your birthday. Dad, you're the coolest. Classic, authentic you since forever. Got this nice little sort of scene setting stamp just here. It's just sort of like the roadside. You've got a spanner, you've got this flame just here that you could have coming out the back of your motorbike if you wanted to, or as a rather cool background. You've obviously got dies that will die cut some of the elements from the stamp set. And this die just here, you can use with a bit of pumpkin pie card in there. So this die here, you can use both. Let me just grab something pointy just to poke that out. You can just both die cut the stamped image here, but it also forms the basis for the detailed motorbike that you can see. You've got all the little bits here that you can build up a detailed die cut motorbike. So that die there is two folds. You've also got a die that will cut out the smaller stamped images. You've got a die for your flames as well as another little flame there that you can die cut. There's just a little scene piece. I think there's a spanner there as well. Yes, there is. So a fun set of dies to go along there. And you've also got this rather cool embossing folder, which is a metal plate 3D embossing folder. So that gives rather a nice detail to your background as well. I know I haven't got many embellishments left. Let's have a look. Look, really haven't got many of these embellishments left. I've just got a few of them, but you can see you get these different shapes in the black and the silver that go along with this suite. Now the bundle is actually going to be carrying over into the new catalogue, so this is one that we're going to be able to continue to play with. Obviously if you've got it you can continue to play with it for as long as you've got it, but in terms of on lives and things we will be able to continue to play with it going forward. And then you've got a pack of paper. Now this is rather lovely paper, predominantly basic black and basic grey, but it is shiny. And can you pick that up? Yeah, I think you can. And sort of embossed. So on one side you've got this grey and black detail, you've got the check there, bit of a checkered flag going on, you've got some nuts type shapes, you've got your spanners, you've got one that doesn't want to come apart, you've got like tire tracks, and then you've got this lovely rose effect, which you could make a more feminine card with, but it's very sort of tattoo like. And if we flip these over, bring in some soft suede here, got some signs, got gorgeous pumpkin pie print there. You have this one that gives you sort of background scenes of garages and things on your way. This is the one that you can cut this one up to create these panels that you would then be able to make lots and lots of quick and easy cards with. One that's got all the clothing on, you've got your gloves, but you've also got some spanners and wrenches and things in there, and then a rather nice grungy motorbike background. So a nice set of papers. The papers won't be available in the new catalogue, so they are, if you want them, get them while they're still available. Where shall we start? I think we'll start with probably a basic black card base. I might make two while I'm here. So if I'm making two card bases out of a piece of A4 card, I always start with the centre score line first. So I'm going to score it at 10.5, and then I'm going to flip it and cut it at 14.9. If you were doing that with a piece of letter size cardstock, you would score it at 4.25 and cut it at 5.5, and that gives you two card bases. So let's create two card bases. Now, somewhere I have got my stylish squares, and I want to have three stylish squares coming down the bottom, down the middle there. So I think it's going to need to be that size in order to get three squeezed in. Ooh, I just so happen to have a nice strip of basic white card there. That should allow me to cut three squares. One. My plates need a bit of a wash. Run through number 2. fluffy bits on there. I'm going to come down to the bottom of my piece of card. And number 3. Just pop these away for a moment. Got 3 little squares. I'm going to bring in the smaller of the motorbikes. Let's stamp that up. Ink that up with some memento. And on this top one, I want the front of the motorbike. And the bottom one, I want the back of the motorbike. And then on the middle one, to try and centre that up. Bottom one didn't stamp as well. Seem to have lost a little bit of detail just there. Let's just bring in a black watercolour pencil. Add in a little bit more. Now we'll give ourselves a bit of pumpkin pie cardstock, and we'll have a matte pumpkin pie that is 10 by 14.4, 4 inches by 5 1/4. You might need to have a bit of a play around with the squares and make sure that that size square is right for your card front with letter size cardstock, because the metric cardstock is just slightly shorter, so you might get away with the next square up, although that square works quite well with that size motorbike. I'm going to bring in some of my paper. Let's have a look. Might have a bit of the checkered. I'm going to cut this at 9.5 by 13.9. To grab, just rifling through the drawers to find what I'm looking for. To cut a piece of smoky slate so that it is 13.9 by 5. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to go 5.5. let's find that embossing folder and let's emboss this piece of basic grey. I'm going to line that up in there. "3D embossing folders." We need our number 1 base plate, our embossing folder, and the number 4 embossing plate. So just those 2 in the sandwich. And that will add a little bit of texture to the front of that card, as well as helping those panels to pop slightly. Throwing things on the floor. I think these could do with a slight black border. It only needs to be the slimmest little strip of a border. That helps that pop. You can see the difference between that one and that one. That one does just pop that little bit more. So let's add that to a matte black card as well. So I could have die cut the next size square up, but I think that would have been too much. I don't think it wants that big a border. It just needs a little slither just to help it pop out of the background. It's nice to have some wiggle room on your glue, but you don't want it wiggling when you're about to cut out the edges. Right. Building up quite nicely. Might go with the "You Are Legendary." We'll go black again for this. Putting in my scissors. To cut that on an angle. Have that on an angle to match. To back that on some card in a minute, but then let's take our "You Are" and then also angle that. I might get a little bit of pumpkin pie to see if I can find a little bit. Perfect. We'll back these onto some pumpkin pie. Just cut those round. Right, let's start sticking this together. So that pumpkin pie does give it just a good pop of colour. You can absolutely go just black and white or black and white and grey. Why not add in a pop of colour? That's central. And then let's come in with these. So the one at the top, I'm going to stick down flat. And one at the bottom, give that a good press because it's going to stick onto that embossed surface. It is a 3D embossing folder, so it's quite a deep embossed surface. Let's bring in some dimensionals. And we will position that one in the center. So I'll put top and bottom on first and then position that bit. It will have dimensionals behind there as well. Put a whole one that side, and then I'm going to take a little bit from the edge to go under there because it's going to overlap. Just there. Then we need our little UR. It's going to come in here. So we want we'll put a strip just there. And that hopefully will be enough just to hold that up. Let me just get a little slither. I'm going to put that slither in between, just there. Tuck it in, and then that will hold that down. It's better. Oh, no, come on up. You are legendary. Bring in some of the silver ones, and I'll just add some of those. In there. Obviously that is going to need a white insert. Let's cut this at 9.5 and swing it round and cut at 13.9. In the motorbike. And have that coming in on the bottom there. Add that in the centre. There we go. A motorbike driving in, driving past and driving off. Almost like photography, sort of one shot after the next. So there's one using that smaller stamp from the stamp set. I think we should have a play with the die cut motorbike. So we'll have another black card base. But we might bring it this way. Have a little look at the papers. Let's take the paper that has tyre tracks on. Cut it this way. And have a tyre tracks top and bottom and pumpkin pie in the middle. So I could just cut a mat and lay my pumpkin pie on the top, but that would use up quite a bit of paper. I'm actually just going to cut 2 centimetre strip across the top there, and then chop that into 2 14.4 pieces. I don't think we'll worry about keeping that piece. There is a limit. Let's cut this piece to 14.4. So this actually is the pattern that's on the back of these. And that is actually 8 centimeters, so that is okay. They won't overlap slightly. We'll have our paper there. We'll have tire tracks coming top and bottom. Let's stick that in place. This obviously you could play with if you have any patterned papers that are any stamps and dies that are car related, or as well as motorbike related, or the mountain bike from the Greatest Journey. You could have some tire tracks with that. Let's have a set of tire tracks going across the top, giving just a bit of a border of the card face. And I'll spin it round, and then those tyres are going the other way. Got that nice shiny effect, that embossed effect on there. So let's have a look at our dies. Just to move some of these papers and things out of the way. I'm drowning in things here. Gather up the papers out of the way. And let's bring in these motorbike pieces. So we've got this black piece, we've got a frame just here. Got this bit that provides sort of the engine piece. Got wheels and the wheel rims. We've got a saddle. And we've got like this sort of hub piece that comes over the top of the wheel. And we have got some flames there. We'll see if we want to use some flames in a minute. Right, what colours to cut these? I think I might stick with the black and the basic grey and the pumpkin pie. So I'm going to do the main motorbike and this engine piece in basic black. I'm going to do this piece just here in basic grey. I'm going to do the spokes of the wheel in basic grey, but the rims in black. And then these two pieces I'm going to do in pumpkin pie. So just grab my plates, put away the dotting plates, bring back in my number 2 thin die adapter and 2 of the acrylic plates. So let's start with the motorbike pieces just here. I might also squeeze these 2 pumpkin pie pieces on there as well while that's going through. It will only take 1 run through the machine. And no doubt if I'd have cut down this black card, I could have got them all the pieces on my place at the same time. Oh, pumpkin pie wiggled. That's okay, we'll sort that out in a second. So, oh, and I had that too near the top edge. Didn't do very well there, did I? Let's take that rim's too near the top edge as well. That rim has come out beautifully. Shall we try that once more with feeling? That's the motorbike piece. That's that piece. So we need to recut this piece and this piece. Just slot that back in. Slot that back in. And pop that back on. Let's try that once more with feeling, shall we? Less haste, more speed. Right. Let's try that. So we were able to slot those pieces back in. And cut them. So now we've got our basic grey pieces. We will need to make sure your dies don't overlap each other, because they will cut into each other if they do. Not always the end of the world, but I don't want to risk it. Right. Move these out of the way. And let's build a motorbike. And pop that bit out. Let's reach for our pokey tool. There's one. Where's the other one? Here. Pop that out. Pop out those little pieces in the centre. Move all of those to one piece side. Now, I think this one hasn't cut as nicely as I would like it to. When you've got lots of detail in a die, it is sometimes worth just running it backwards and forwards. I did only run that through once. So perhaps going back in the other direction would have been helpful. Let's do that. And instantly that has popped out. Just get that little bit just there. So there we have our detail on there. We have our background. I don't know whether you can pick up, ever so easy to pick up the embossed detail on here. We'll come on here. We have our wheels that will come on here, our tyres. Saddle. And somewhere they should have, just here, it's still in the die, a little hub piece. Pick that die up. Before we lose it. Right, let's bring this together. I'm going to start with this piece just here, and you can see where it fits on the curve of the bike. There we go, like that. Let's go for wheels. What? Oh, a bit still stuck in there. And two. Let's have our tyres. Rather too much glue on there. One. Obviously you can be picking up, you can use some of your foils for this. You want to give it a bit of a more of a metallic look. You could go really bright colours. If you know somebody that's got a motorbike, you could be guiding by the colour of their bike. Grab a picture of it, photograph of it, and build these pieces up accordingly. But they're fairly lightweight, so you don't want masses of glue on there. I'm just tickling, could use a sponge and sponge it on. Bring that round. We'll bring in our pumpkin pie saddle. Could actually do with a second one of these. We have actually got two and I've only cut one. I will cut a second one to go on there. And we'll have our second piece. And I'll have that on there. It's going to sit on here. Now, something to help that to pop a little bit against the background there. We might just take let's come in with a circle, and we'll have a circle of white. To come in with some pumpkin pie. On the edge of here. not so starkly white, but it's not white pumpkin pie either. And then I'm going to grab my basic grey. Give it sort of a smoky effect almost. On the edge of there. I think we'll also grab the flame stamp. Just stamp that off. Let's have some flames on there as well. So that will pop off the back of the card, but without being too starkly white. And I think we'll have a ride on. It's your birthday. Let's come in with the basic grey. And I think we'll go with a little bit of pumpkin pie. And a little bit of basic black. We'll double matte it. Nice. Right, okay. Let's put our flaming circle here. Then let's take some dimensionals and pop those on the back of our bike. Though it looks very detailed on the front, you do have quite a nice flat space on the back for popping your dimensionals on. And we'll pop some dimensionals on there as well. Okay, I have just put those down, haven't I? Just put them down. I do think that, you know, going slightly mad. There they are. It wasn't even as if that was 2 minutes ago. It's just like the last thing I had my hands on. I have that coming up there. So I haven't got many of my black embellishments left of those, but I have got some black matte dots. So let's come in with some of those. Have a pair of dots up there and one down the bottom there. And again, we shall need a insert. So let's cut that down. And let's come in with our pumpkin pie and put some flames on this one. And there we have flames inside. So one card using the stamps in our squares to almost create a story of a bike riding across the front, and then this one using those detailed dies to build up that motorbike that we've been using, those DSPs in the background. So both visions in black and pumpkin pie and basic grey, but obviously you don't have to stay there. Your motorbikes can be red or blue or green or whatever colour you want them to be. You can do them in brights, but we were just playing with the papers. And as I say, this is a set that is going to be carrying over, so we're going to be able to continue to see new things being created with this one as demonstrators continue to play with it. So I hope that you have enjoyed those two cards using the Legendary Ride stamp set, the coordinating dies, and the Ready to Ride DSP, and that embossing folder, that great metal 3D embossing folder that you can see in the background just there. So great fun for anybody in your life that enjoys putting on their helmet and getting out on the open road. Oh, Lee, there you go. Lisa, there you go. Something that you might have to get your hands on. Yes, we're looking to see what is carrying over. And if you do want to get your hands on it, get your hands on it now, because it won't be bundled price when it goes to the new catalogue. At the moment, you'll be able to get it as a bundle price. Once it appears in the new catalogue as a carryover item, those stamps and those dies will only be available as separate items. So yeah, one to get now while you can with 10% off. So thank you for joining me. Now it's going to be a funny couple of weeks, isn't it? So Friday is Good Friday, so I won't be here. It's a bank holiday here, as is Easter Monday. So it will be the following Friday before I'm scheduled to be back. Who knows? I may pop up in between times, but yeah. So if I don't pop up and see you before then, have a lovely Easter weekend. Eat as much chocolate as you want to. Indulge in as many hot cross buns as you fancy, and I hope the sun shines for you. And I'll see you all very soon.